No upgrades allowed. Just a tiny goblin boy and the worst balls imaginable. Can he survive Cruciball 16? So the problem with these runs is that it still looks like it's doable. But I think we may have to do it with bombs. More bombs is more good. The hardest part will be to attempt to take this seriously. No messing around, just all slime slapping. All the time. Every map, every day, every ball is a bomb. Explode the balls, explode everyone else. If we explode the entire map, the entire universe with everything on it, including me, have I technically beaten the Crucible? Or does it not count if I have also exploded? Not enough to kill the last guy? What a waste. Maybe we just do fights, get some cash, because we can buy out the entire shop. That's the good thing with this. If I'm not spending on upgrades, I can spend on anything else. The more money is incredible. We can get several relics, hopefully, from Peglin. Don't know if I'm gonna have the cash for that. Especially if we just blow everything up. Go for the cash. Go for the flames. It's a ritual. It has to be done. It has now been done. Is it a good luck thing or is it just something I have to do? It's like in my contract. I was like, can't play the game. Not allowed to be a goblin boy unless I burn a reasonable amount. Either one of those options sounds absolutely insane. Why would anyone sign a contract where they have to incinerate their own face? Especially since you have to actually, to be able to throw your face, you need to remove your face from the rest of your face head. Because else it's very hard to throw. And then you have to throw it in the flames. And if anything remains of the flamed up face hole, and you put it back on, or is it now just burned to a crisp and unusable? That's not necessarily always anything positive with anything at all, especially incinerating your face. Again, just trying to question everything, then justify everything it's a wacky approach. It gets nothing done most of the time, but it rolls into some interesting concepts. That's a mental roll if you're rolling into a concept. How do you do that? Can you flip your brain inside your skull? I really am completely out of it today. Is that a good time to record or a terrible time to record? Nobody knows. But this might be one of the first times I can use my first voice recording without redoing the entire thing afterwards. Because normally I'm asleep when I record and it's not very good. That's a peek behind some of the scenes. It's not really even any scenes, it's just I'm just a dude on the internet throwing balls. That's it. Role-playing as a tiny goblin boy. Fighting slimes. Bombing them, preferably. That would just splash slime all over the place. But then we would have a lot of slime to build things with. Could we build like a slime house? That's what the bouncy map thing is called, right? The House of Slime. We could use slime for so many other things than enemies. Like, why do we have to fight all the slimes? Can we not just... I have defeated so many slimes by now. There are even specifically brick slimes for building houses. You build a nice house, live in the forest instead of fight the entire forest all the time. Get me out of the Groundhog Day hellscape that I'm cursed to exist in forevermore. How long can I do that in Peglin? Probably for a while. Still a lot of science that has not been done that we need to do at some point. While the scientist needs to do, I'm not gonna do any science on the Roundrel boy. I'm just gonna stab up some slimes, rob them blind, buy myself a house of slime in which I can have a time. Probably not a good time though, because it's still a house of slime. It's going to be absolutely awful, stinky and horrible. Double damage by the time the slimes have dissolved most of my body. I need to be 3/4 dead in order to be able to fight back with twice the power. Is that a good deal? It sounds awful. I think we buy a ghost, honestly. Hit all the dudes. And we go left side and we decide if we want another Peglin or a boss. I don't think I can do both. I didn't look at the map. Because why would I? That would be some planning, and that's not allowed. We have bombs. Who needs a plan? Just explode everything. It's Cruciball 16. I should really plan and maybe think. Engage the brain cell. Not in Goblin mode. Not in Gorilla mode. Not in anything else that can't really think. Engage it in some kind of organism that has at least 4 brain cells. That's a reasonable amount to do the thinking with. Is that thinking good? Nobody knows. We need to ask the scientist. How many brain cells do you need to form a thought that actually is productive? Cookie. Right, so we can get anything refresher related. I could have navigated for the bombs there. Forge. Again, this might be allowed, but I'm gonna go with no. So the idea is no upgraded balls, and I'm including events. That is also amazing. Evolution. Evolution. I'm hoping we can get to a point where we don't have to reload because we just have so many balls. And having some way to generate evolution, even if it's not enough, that is what I need to keep me alive. Balls start with some free damage. Minotaur person. A big crit rock. Some amount of evolution. Big damage, very nice. Ghost. You don't really do a whole lot here, like it's just actually a worse ball here, I think. And this is the one I need a crit for. I'm not gonna get it. Or am I? Can we super luck into this? Because it would be more evolution and the biggest damage I have probably. No, but we lucked into debuffs. Okay, Roundrel and all in on luck. I have been playing Balatro, Cursed Poker with so many clown cards. But the Curse of Luck is strong in that one. Can we ride on the Curse of Luck here as well? I would like to refresh, sure, but I think the bomb is left it on 1. But we primed the bomb, so the horrible can actually finish it. Bombs. Infection. These are both good. 5% chance to refresh is actually pretty bad. But with the lightning ball and maybe something else, we can hit lots of pegs and then it will all be fine. This is the first real test, I guess. Can you beat the boss with no upgraded balls? Just a bunch of balls stuck in vines. It's just even worse gambling when you have no upgrades, because now I need to get lucky with the vines, with the bombs, spawning new bombs with the refresh thing so we can nuke all the dudes. We need to get lucky with debuffs. We need to not use the horrible, maybe it's another big brain move. Some luck with evolution could also help. How do I get all this luck to trigger? Am I just gonna... I can pop that vine, but it will go immediately into the next vine. Surprise. Who saw that one coming? Ghost. You can hit both of the dudes. Bombs sorted it out anyway. Ghost, irrelevant when you have too many bombs. Lightning ball is the one we need to hit vines and bombs and refreshes, and none of those things happened. You had 1 job and still failed at 3 jobs. That is incredibly impressive. Now that's... I was gonna say that's some incredible dodging by that rock ball, and then it just goes back and explodes. Why? You did everything right. I'm doing everything wrong, but we have a million balls here now, so... This is like the sunken cost fallacy. I'm throwing good balls after bad balls into just another vine. And also, well, I need to do this to get to the refresh anyway, but then I'm gonna get stuck in another vine. There's no escaping this. This is life. Vine life. The horrible life of a goblin boy. On the plus side, things are looking good. I can now refresh. We have a bunch of bombs that spawn back in. We have all the balls back. The horrible on top of the pile, of course. But we can probably make it out of here alive and move on to something else. And then we'll see how far we get before I inevitably explode, because this is still a very, very ambitious challenge. Terrible balls only, no upgraded balls. 1 exploded boss. Morbid ball, don't really need that. Multi-ball, or more refreshes, or a different multi-ball. We have the cookie, so the refresh thing here means infinite cookies, or 1 single giga cookie that we can eat for the rest of our days. And then I can die of a cholesterol-induced heart attack instead of just being ripped apart by a ballista in the castle. Honestly sounds better. The giga cookie is a safe choice, a smart choice. Maybe I should add that to the challenge, that I'm not allowed to invest in balls, but I'm also not allowed to make smart choices. That's more on brand. Only dumb choices allowed, but that is every other round run. So maybe it's fine to allow a good decision every now and then. Maybe that it's a nice variety, like you don't know what you're gonna get. It's not just going to be all the worst decision every single time. Sometimes they might be sound and make sense. And I'm supposed to be learning a bit, I guess, and also we've done a lot of Peglin runs now. I aimed at completely the wrong guy there, but we have maybe evolved from a single brain cell organism to now maybe 2, or if we're lucky, something like 4. That's a radical change. 4 brain cells. I don't have any damage output at all, but we have the cookie force-feeding machine gun build again, so can we just heal until they get bored and leave? Do I need to actually ball slap them out of existence? Or can I just stop? Yes, you will. Double boss. And a later Haglin, yes. Double boss. Madness. Perfect. These clowns. So this ball is only ever gonna be a 1-2. But it will debuff everyone. And then whatever they hit me for, I just eat 40 cookies and I'm fine. It's a greedy strat. We're going to cause... Like, I hope they haven't applied insane tariffs to cookies, because I need to import every cookie in the single universe, multiverse even, to be able to eat so many cookies. How many cookies can a goblin boy eat before he explodes? Maybe he has a multiverse stomach as well. We could have bought a bomb ball. I should really have done that. Because we are kinda in on the bomb builds, that makes sense. Orbalisk, eat one of my rocks, thank you. And navigate me well down the dead pegs into the double boss route. This is either genius or the end. Realistically, it's more likely to be the end. Get some refreshes. We're gonna have to hit them all anyway, or I'm gonna run out of map. So this is where multi-ball in combination with the refresh things would have been nice. But the cookie thing, like we need to start a cookie factory, we need to do all those things. Where am I gonna get them from? Who makes the cookies? Is it the chef? Can we trust him? Has he filled the cookies with slimes or bats or whatever else? Like, you can't trust anything in these games. Your allies are goblins. They might be even worse than the enemies. There's this big problem again where I have no real damage. We have 3 extra bombs. We can refresh some bombs. And I do more damage when I'm on low health. So really I need to slap myself or get slapped massively before I can handle these dudes. And we are running out of map. We have the lightning ball here to fix that, with its amazing power of hitting up to 2 more pegs. Wow. The level 1 balls sure are cool. And the extra refreshes with the chance to get bombs back is not actually better in any way, right? Because sure, we have more refreshes to hit, but I get way less pegs back. So realistically, it just takes longer to get any bombs back. The chance is still the same, sure. But damage here is just... it's top tier, amazingly mediocre. We have the entirety of Big Shungus left to deal with. I'm doing like 90 damage. I haven't kept track of the number of relics, but it looks like I don't have that many compared to what I could have at this point. And given that I have absolutely no value in my balls, all the value needs to be in the relics, and they are not exactly good. Still, we have survived roughly half the game with no upgrades on Cruciball 16. It's not bad. And I'm gonna say again that this seems very doable. But can I do that out of my own brain cell means, or do I have to still fully rely on luck? If we find anything that combos with refresh pegs, we should be fine, like extra circle or whatever. Upgrades, something like that. But if we have nothing, we really just have nothing. Look at my health. Now I'm still not doing double damage because of the low health I start with. But can we survive another boss? I did set myself up for the double boss, but probably past me was insane. and we have to deal with whatever that gorilla clown shows. I'm wasting a lot of balls here, getting no damage out of them. It's not good enough. I can't afford to waste that many balls. So, can we be carried by the infinite cookie stack? Because that's the only good part about this build. We have the healing sometimes. The debuffs could really roll into something better as well that would help. And if we don't do enough damage, this mage guy is going to just get infinite shields, which I can then not break through. Unless, of course, he slaps me down into double damage range. And then maybe I can do thing with some bombs. Ghost, actually performing for once. But 4 blind, yes. That is what's going to save the run. Just serve me more cookies. Invent some kind of device that can automatically force feed me cookies at an ever-increasing pace. At the very least, I will be a big and strong goblin boy, because that everybody knows that is what happens if you eat a billion cookies. You become very strong, and nothing else will go horribly wrong ever. There is a slight cookie problem also in that I just healed myself out of the double damage range, and now I do less damage until I get slapped again, and then I heal myself out of the range. So healing is low, evolution is non-existent, and the double damage range is fleeting and flickering like my life. Can we get the scientist in here? Like, how much is double damage if my damage is almost nothing? An old retired slime brick. Do we actually keep the rocks for once? No. Always get rid of the rocks. Less balls. How do we navigate this? I have a lot of cash. Haggling would be nice. That's not the way you navigate this map. Okay, cool. All my money wasted. On the plus side, if I evade an attack, I spawn some crits. I have a suspicion that that will absolutely not help at all. Mirrors. We do have a lot of balls that don't care about mirrors, which is good. I don't even have any rocks left. We got rid of all of them. It's generally the dream. In this scenario, I'm still thinking it may have been better to not get rid of the balls, because the reload is very harsh. It might be fine here. There's only 2 plants shooting me. The mirrors are stacking up more reflecto magic, but they're not gonna reflect anything because I don't have any balls that reflect. And the lightning ball, surprisingly strong there, but it's only strong because of the mirror buff. The invisible bonus ball that we will not have later. And if we survive the boss, we can hopefully spend the cash in the mines. And Haglin can save the rest of this horrible run with the collection of whatever stuff I found. That is more of a goblin approach though, right? Just a mix of things, no real planning. As for big brain nerds. There is a problem with the ghost. I don't know if you've noticed, but it often stays on the map for 1,000 years. And it's so tempting to click upgrade orb. The golden boy. An opportunity or just a distraction to get me another ball that will do nothing. 43 damage for 67 gold. I mean, if I survive to the mines, more cash is more good. When did I buy a second ghost ball? It is not even a ghost, it's a lightning ball. Right, I'm paying attention, I'm awake, everything is fine. Tiny amount of evolution, a tiny, minuscule amount of damage. For a very, very chunky boss with 4,500 health, this is gonna take a while. And is this a bad map for hitting anything, or is it a me problem with just rolling out the same way with every shot? We then have the dead pegs on top of that with the paintings. That hopefully the bombs and the ghosts, that's a combo, because of course the ghosts are immune to bombs. But maybe they can deal with the paintings. And then if I refresh enough bombs, I also lose map to that, so we might run out of map. The magical oboe instrument thing is also saving me from certain death here, where she's doing no damage to me a lot of the time, because she's doing 1 damage, and if you have a magical oboe played by a pro goblin player, you are immortal. Everybody knows that. But this just doesn't feel like a serious fight, because she's poking me very lightly with the paintbrush, doing nothing, like tickling me. And on the left side we have the tiny goblin boy with his microscopic balls banned from any investments that do absolutely nothing. Potentially the most irrelevant balls we have ever had. Often it's the bombs that make the balls irrelevant because you blow up the map before you can even throw your balls. But not this time. This is very different. The balls were never relevant in the first place. They are all sort of on par with the horror ball. Maybe that's harsh, they do something. The cookies are handling it for now though, but can we just live on cookies alone? We have done so far. But surely this is going to scale up with, like, I'm going to have less map and do less things, and I'm going to have more poison stacks in my face, which I cannot dodge with my music playing. Or could we just scare away the boss and literally everything else by starting a Goblin band? There is absolutely no chance whatsoever that that will be a pleasant sound. It's going to be even worse than our irrelevant balls. So how am I ever supposed to scale up the damage here? I can't invest in any ball, not a single ball, all balls are banned. Not the balls, but investing in the balls. So it's 100% dependent on relics, and I have a cookie that's doing stuff, and the oboe. But that's basically it. Am I getting any value out of the other things? And I'm doing the same shot a million times over. What's the definition of insanity again? Throwing your balls down the same paintbrush, watching them just slide off to the right, and then doing it again, and again, and again. We have some nice stacks on the boss at least. 16 blind, that's never gonna do anything, but the critical thingamajig, whatever it's called, the exploiter ball. Surely we can explode her with my 1 damage crit lightning ball. A big reorbanizer crit might do it though, that's probably the beefiest ball we have in here. Lightning ball, still reasonably good for dealing with the paintings. And are we gonna do a tactical horrible here to have the ghost for... because she is going to spawn the paintings back in, right? So this is big brain plays. The worst ball of them all has been used in some kind of big brain tactical scheme, allowing me to do a fantastic 13 damage to all the paintings. This is looking slightly worse. On the plus side though, we have done reasonable damage to the boss as well. She's actually more hurt than I am, so this is still possible. It's not the most insane challenge I have tried. It's just very luck dependent by the looks of things. And also Cruciball 16, maybe a bit on the dumber side. What would have been a reasonable level? We could have done a scientific experiment at Cruciball 1 or 2, but no, 16 is where the Roundrel happened to be at. And I think he is still the best bet for this because of the debuffs. The cookies are no longer delivering. Instead I will be crucified by my balls in the Cruciball as is tradition. The Peglin nerds will be back soon. In the meantime, how about some incredibly illegal poker? In Balatro, I cloned some clowns to boost my build and accidentally let them talk to each other. Thank you for watching.